To build a cutting-edge 3-nanometer computer chip today, you need a 180-ton extreme ultraviolet machine from the Netherlands, optics made by Carl Zeiss that are so precise they could hit a golf ball on the moon, and a supply chain stretching across dozens of allied democracies. Iran has exactly 0 of these things. For over 45 years, this country has been slapped with the most suffocating technological embargo in modern human history. They are legally barred from buying semiconductor tooling, locked out of global cloud servers, and completely cut off from the SWIFT international banking grid. By every conventional law of modern economics, Iran's tech sector should be dead in the water. Yet right now, Tehran operates the largest ballistic missile arsenal in the Middle East, exports killer loitering munitions that reshape modern warfare, runs a standalone, parallel internet that handles millions of transactions a day, and ranks among the top 10 countries on Earth for advanced nanotechnology research. How did a rogue nation with 0 commercial wafer foundries turn into one of the most dangerous adaptive tech fortresses on the planet? The secret isn't in how they build hardware, it's in how they break the rules. If you crack open the delta wing body of an Iranian Shahed 136 drone, you won't find classified radiation-hardened military chips. What you will find is a masterclass in what engineers call COTS, commercial off-the-shelf engineering. Let's tear it down part by part. For propulsion, they don't use a multi-million-dollar miniature turbojet. They use the Motto MD 550, a cloned 2-stroke piston engine originally designed by Germany's Limbach for light aircraft. It's a 50-horsepower engine that sounds like a flying lawnmower. It's loud, it's crude, but it sips fuel so efficiently that it pushes this drone past 1,500 kilometers. Now look at the avionics board. The brains behind the guidance system? A Texas Instruments TMS 320 DSP processor and an Altera Cyclone FPGA. You can literally find these exact same microchips inside everyday office laser printers, household washing machines, and industrial conveyor belts. Iran doesn't buy them through official defense contracts. They route them through shell companies in Dubai, Istanbul, and Shenzhen. The real engineering triumph, however, is the anti-jamming antenna. Electronic warfare units use massive RF jammers to blind GPS signals. Iran countered this by building their own CRPA, controlled reception pattern antenna arrays. This multi-element antenna fuses civilian GPS, Russian GLONASS, and Chinese Beidou, feeds through real-time Kalman filtering algorithms. If an enemy jammer blasts high-frequency noise from the ground, the software simply zeroes out that specific angle, calculates dead reckoning data from low-cost MEMS inertial gyroscopes, and keeps flying straight into its target. Think about the brutal math here. Iran builds an autonomous cruise missile for $20,000 to $40,000. To shoot it down, Western air defense systems have to fire a $4 million Patriot missile. Iran didn't try to win the chip race. They weaponized the cost asymmetry curve. Here's the thing about sanctions. You can stop a container ship full of silicon wafers at the border, but you cannot put a physical embargo on pure mathematics. Iran's entire software dominance is rooted in a cutthroat, highly venerated STEM pipeline. Every single year, over 1 million students sit for the Concours, a brutal nationwide university entrance exam. The absolute top 0.1% are funneled into Sharif University of Technology, widely known as the MIT of the Middle East. This is the institution that forged legendary minds like the late Maryam Mirzakhani, the first woman in world history to win the Fields Medal in mathematics. When you trap thousands of world-class mathematical minds inside a closed economy, they don't stop building. They pour their intellect into open source code, algorithmic efficiency, and cryptography. Then came the ultimate wake-up call, the year 2010. A joint US-Israeli cyber weapon called Stuxnet breached the air-gapped uranium enrichment facility at Natanz. Stuxnet was pure digital wizardry. It chained together 4 unpatched zero-day exploits, hijacked the firmware of Siemens S7300 PLCs, and forced Iran's IR-1 centrifuges to spin at lethal speeds until they physically tore themselves apart, all while feeding normal telemetry data to the control screens. Stuxnet didn't break Iran's resolve. It triggered a cyber Manhattan project. Tehran established state-sponsored elite cyber units APT-33, APT-34, Oil Rig, and Muddy Water. Just 2 years after Stuxnet, Iranian hackers retaliated with the Shamoon wiper malware. In a single sweep, it wiped the master boot records of 35,000 computers at Saudi Aramco, replacing the files with an image of a burning American flag and forcing the world's largest oil company back to typewriters and fax machines for weeks. While the cyber warriors wage covert warfare on foreign servers, what does everyday civilian life look like for 85 million citizens cut off from Western tech? Imagine waking up tomorrow and Google Play, the App Store, Uber, Amazon, Netflix, Visa, and MasterCard have all vanished. What happens? In Iran, they built an entire clone universe known as the NIN, National Information Network. This is a domestic sovereign intranet. If international subsea fiber cables get severed or the state pulls the plug on the global web, Iran's internal digital economy keeps running without dropping a single packet. Need to buy electronics, groceries, or books? Digicala dominates over 85% of e-commerce, backed by automated sorting facilities and a nationwide fulfillment fleet. Need a ride or food delivery? Snap processes over 3 million rides a day, using custom-hosted OpenStreetMap layers and localized dispatch algorithms. Need apps? Cafe Bazaar serves 45 million Android users, letting them buy software with local currency. Need to swipe your card? The Shatab banking network handles billions of instant electronic transactions every year. Iran was a virtually cashless society long before many Western cities adopted tap-to-pay. And it doesn't stop at software. Facing a critical blockade on specialized Western medications, Iran's Royan Institute and domestic biotech giant Synagen stepped in. Today, Iran synthesizes over 95% of its domestic pharmaceuticals, including complex biosimilars for cancer therapies and multiple sclerosis. Make no mistake, this rogue tech fortress comes with devastating fractures. Behind the domestic platforms sits one of the most oppressive censorship architectures in the world. Every single day, millions of Iranian developers, students, and citizens play a relentless game of cat and mouse, configuring obfuscated V2 Ray protocols, shadow socks nodes, and custom VPNs just to access GitHub, OpenAI, or basic research papers. And the deepest crack in the fortress is the brain drain. Plagued by runaway inflation and heavy social restrictions, thousands of Iran's brightest engineers from Sharif and Tehran University pack their bags every year to build the future of Silicon Valley, Toronto, and Berlin instead of Tehran. Yet, Iran's technological story holds a haunting lesson for the 21st century. True innovation doesn't always come from a blank check or a multi-billion-dollar R&D lab in California. When backed into a corner, innovation becomes a biological imperative of survival. By accepting that they could never match the West in hardware brute force, Iran mastered the art of math-driven software, relentless reverse engineering, and asymmetric disruption. They proved that in the modern digital era, you don't need to own the factory to change the game. You just need to know how to rewrite the code. What's your take on Iran's asymmetric tech model? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dive geotech breakdowns, and we'll catch you in the next one.